Is Matt Metzger, and I'm one of the pastors on staff at Blackhawk Church in Madison, Wisconsin, and I oversee one of our sites that meets right downtown on the campus of University of Wisconsin. And when I first came to town to be a part of the staff team there, originally I was hired on to do college ministry and young adult ministry. And back at that time, our church had nothing for college students or young adults. And so as we were starting out, one of the things I wanted to do was get to know a lot of the different leaders from campus ministries in the area. And come to find out, as I pulled into town, my wife and I are trying to get established, we realized that most of these campus ministries are not very excited that we're there. And so for the first year that we're trying to get ministry off the ground, there's just this sense of no camaraderie, of a lot of competition, of I don't know, just a sense of nobody really trusting each other. And so finally we got to about a year into things, and we all decided it was time for us to just sort of have a sit down in order to figure out, for all of us, how to kind of play nicely in the sandbox together. And I'll never forget this. One of the guys that I knew well from another ministry, we're all sitting around talking about, okay, like how do we do this? Do we literally kind of break off campus into different areas where you're going to take this area and I'm going to take this area over here? And one of the guys finally, is looking at everybody and he just says out loud, "Hey, what are you guys doing next weekend?" And so we all go to our calendars and start looking, and nobody wanted to hang out together. But he came up with this idea of like, what if we all just get together and grill out? And we all check our calendars, and I kid you not, none of us had plans. And we were all blown away because all of us wanted to have plans because nobody really wanted to hang out together, but none of us did. And so nobody wanted to be the person saying, well, I'm sorry, I can't make it. So all of us ended up showing up. We brought our families and our kids, and we looked around as we're at this grill out together, all trying to figure out how to play nicely with each other. And we realized, okay, all of our spouses are getting along, and all of our kids are playing well together. What the crap is our problem? And it really started to build. It was like this little seed of a friendship that just started with a bunch of us, a couple different churches, a lot of us as campus ministries just gathered together. And we started to meet together like we did that first time we tried to figure out how to play nicely in the sandbox. We started to meet together every week, every other week throughout the entire summer. And what started to come out was, rather than each of us not trusting each other, what started to come out was each of us sharing our own stories, and so much of our stories having to do with fear, fear of failure, of being the one ministry on campus or the one church that couldn't pull its weight, that someone else was going to come in, they were going to get everybody, and we were going to have nothing left, trying to figure out how we were going to talk with our own church board or our national board, about why our ministry wasn't doing it when everybody else's was. And it just turned into this time of like crazy, like just vulnerability of all of us being willing to just share from our hearts. And what happened during that summer, like all due to that grill out, we still call it the barbecue factor. What happened during that time was like God started to cause us all just to like each other, and to love each other and be in each other's corner in a different type of a way. And man, it transformed the way we started doing ministry in Madison. Not like, and it wasn't like all of a sudden like, man, floodgates open, all these people coming to know Jesus, anything. No, but like we all of a sudden started to realize that like we had this little band of people that we could trust, this little community of people that like were in our corner, that we knew we had each other's backs, that we knew in different situations that we could trust each other. When I would get a text from a buddy of mine from, Crew saying, "Hey, I know you're speaking tonight. I'm praying for you this evening." Or when I would have a problem, a kid from another ministry would come and talk to me because they wanted to talk to me about the problems from that place. And I would be able to stop in the beginning and go, okay, wait a minute, before we go any farther, I need you to know the leaders of that group, they're great friends of mine, and I love them to death and believe in what they're doing. Okay, now what do you want to talk about? It just changed the way that we all did ministry together. And I think that we all grew in huge ways because of it. And not that it's perfect now, not that we've got it all together, but man, it just helped me in that season to realize how we're better together than we could be separately. I think that's the way God desires us to be, and there's something powerful that happens when it really takes place.